We live in a fast-moving society where a 7-second TikTok or a 15-second Instagram reel can get you like excited and probably provide a lot of false hope. So the number one misconception I'll say is that real estate is get rich quick. Most all strategies in real estate, sure, there's some wholesaling stuff and so there's different things where you can make capital and you might flip a house and make $200,000. But the vast majority of people I know in real estate who've accumulated vast amounts of wealth, they did it slow and steady. And it's not as sexy, I admit, but it's a sure thing. And I would much rather have a sure thing than bet on a meme coin or try to get rich quick some other way. And, your investment goes to zero. Because in
Yeah.
real estate, like if done the right way, it's really hard to ever have you're never going to buy a house for 400 grand that's worth zero someday, right? Like it doesn't go to zero.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with, Matt, the mortgage guy, who's been making serious moves in the mortgage space. So glad to have you here on the show today, Matt.
Oh, my pleasure. I love talking about all things mortgage, all things investing. So pleasure's all mine.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the listeners are going to take something away from how you're helping investors understand mortgages better and, have a better scope of how things work in that realm. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Awesome. So first off, for those who are not familiar with you and what you do, can you give people a short version of what your main focus is?
Sure. I'm an independent mortgage broker. I've been doing home loans for the last 12 years. So people, that don't understand the different types of mortgages, I do residential mortgage. Someone's buying a house they're going to live in, or they're buying a house or a duplex, triplex, fourplex that's going to be investment property. That's the space I play in. Office space and apartment buildings, commercial stuff is for commercial lenders. I'm a residential broker. Been doing that for 12 years. I've been creating content on YouTube for almost as long. I was looking at yesterday, since 2014, educational videos over there to empower people to make good decisions when it comes to mortgage finance.
Awesome. And what markets do you operate in? Are you nationwide?
I am nationwide, technically 48 states, so there's a couple that make it extremely difficult. So I'll refer you to a great referral partner in Massachusetts or New York, but the other 48 states proudly serve. And it's really fun for me as a California kid who grew my mortgage business in California. I love California. I love California loans. But it's cool to get an interesting perspective on what's going on in Texas and Florida and Tennessee and the other states. And so serving people all over the country.
Awesome. Yeah. So kind of like, what's the key to keeping this business running smoothly? What are some things that you focus on?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Mortgage is a people business. And I think that, even though we've got crazy amount of tech and, I've got some cool tech stories for you later in the podcast, even though we've got a massive amount of tech and there's a ton of things in mortgage, like every mortgage company on the wholesale side has become like a mini tech company. And they've all got different tech for making the process more streamlined, for making mortgage brokers more effective. But at the end of the day, the clients that work with us are clients that feel some sort of personal connection. They've seen videos, they've learned something on YouTube, they've reached out, they've, talked to a team member who's made them feel like I'm not in this alone. Someone's going to hold my hand through this home buying process. And same goes for referral partners. A real estate agent isn't necessarily going to refer an AI bot or somebody who's sitting in a call center and just, I can take a mortgage application, I can get this done. They're referring somebody they like and trust. And, when somebody refers me, I'll tell them, and I mean it with all my heart, I'm going to take care of this person. My reputation's on the line, your reputation on the line. And then at the end of the day, I talked to a first-time home buyer yesterday. It's scary. It's an exciting time, but it's scary. So nothing's going to replace the human element. That's the good news for people that are worried about technology and all the advancement and AI. Talking to a human being, having a human being say, I know it's a little bit overwhelming. I'm going to explain it to you really simple. When I bought my first house, I was, scared as heck, just like you are. But you're going to thank yourself later. Your future self is going to thank you for taking this step at 26 years old, whatever the case may be. So that kind of stuff still excites me. Just talking about it, I love it because, it's a people business above everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And I know that you really value education. So, what are some like maybe small educational tips you can offer people?
Yeah, I think that for people that are thinking about buying a house, whether it's a house they're going to live in or investment property, they should start by understanding the numbers. And you don't have to be an engineer or, a data or math nerd. Everyday people, nurses and school teachers have a basic understanding of math. And that's where I like to keep it really, really simple. And every pre-approval has numbers attached to it. It's not like you're approved for a $600,000 house. Good luck. It's here's what it looks like at 550. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, total cash to close. If you bought at 600, here's what it looks like. So my advice to people is find somebody who can do that for you. Find somebody who can make it simple. The good news is too, there's so much available, on the internet. Like you can get a good amount of information from a YouTube video, from even typing into Chat GPT. Like I know mortgage interest rates are higher than they've been in a few years. If I bought something at 500,000 with 10% down and I'm in California, what would that look like? I think Chat GPT can get most of that, right? Like here's what property taxes should be, but it's even better if you can do that with a human being who's closed 2,000 loans, right? And that human being can tell you, here's a personalized Excel spreadsheet for your scenario. Here's exactly what it's going to look like. And I think, more than anything, what I've experienced is you present that to somebody and they start to relax a little bit. It's this big, overwhelming thing that, they didn't think was possible or they don't know how it all works. You boil it down to simple steps and explain it to them in relatively simple fashion. And all of a sudden, some of that fear, anxiety turns into, excitement.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that perspective. So, what are you like most focused on solving or scaling next in your business?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's really top of mind for me because I've been doing a lot. Like anybody who's got any business is being told by smart people, like invest time in learning AI. Invest an hour a day, even if it's just, throwing prompts at any of the different, AI models so that you can learn how to get better at it. And so one thing that I'm focused on is I want to help the masses. And that's why I started the YouTube channel. That's why I've created 1,600 plus videos, is because I'm trying to educate and help people. And the truth of the matter is, I'm only one person. I can't do, conversations at scale. I can't do, individualized kind of here's what it looks like. I can do that with hundreds of clients and over the years, thousands of clients, but I'm talking about millions of people being able to help them. This is where AI is going to help. And this AI that I kind of hinted at when me and you talked offline that I'm looking at, people that are way, way smarter than me, have trained these language models to, you, Michelle, you live in California, you're looking to buy a house, you fill out a form, and here's the type of house, here's, different things about my profile. And the AI can answer specific questions to you back. And then you give it more data and gives you back. And so when I'm prospecting, across the internet, whether that's making videos or holding webinars, and people reach out, it's really hard to respond to 425 inquiries, right? But if the AI can help with that and give people good information back that's personalized. Oh, I saw you inquired about 3.5% down FHA. Let me tell you a little bit of that. Oh, you inquired about, a conventional loan or a VA loan, whatever it is. Using the technology to educate at scale is super, super powerful. And, we've seen the mortgage industry change as the real estate industry's changed over the last few years, where I think the people that aren't taking it as serious and the people that are maybe not as skilled or not as passionate about doing this stuff have found other jobs, which is a great thing, right? Those of us that really care about making impact at scale are going to use the technology to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love that you're leveraging this technology. I know that when we talked before, you said you wanted to like share a little bit of story about this chatbot. Is
Yeah.
that something that you wanted to share?
Well, yeah, and so it was basically, the story I just shared without kind of the details, because I could hold a webinar and, you get educated through the webinar, but you're one of 1,000 and your scenario is different than the other 999 people. And so you click on a web page that has 7 or 10 questions for you specific. And when you answer those 7 or 10 questions, those get plugged in. The AI then responds to you via email based on those things. And you get to go back and forth and have like, it blows my mind seeing it. When I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, if you took like the best loan originators in the country and all the knowledge they have and asked them to just sit in a room and respond to people's inquiries, like this would be the output, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so, that is just going to be one of many things that loan originators use going forward. And to be honest, part of me is kind of overwhelmed and afraid of how good this technology is. But on the other side of the coin, just like an overwhelmed home buyer, like there's some excitement in there too. And my excitement is around like, man.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And so, like leveraging the technology, like you said, is just, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, amazing. Love that. That's, yeah, something important to note in this changing world. So I know that you also own a lot of investment properties, and a lot of the listeners here are investors. Like, what are some maybe strategies or tools that you've combined with your expertise in the mortgage and investing space that you can share with other investors?
Yeah, I mean, real estate investing, I've always been a big fan of real estate, and as a mortgage broker, it's really cool because I get to live vicariously through investors. And so when somebody comes to me and like, I'm thinking about doing this, or I might buy a duplex, if I get excited and I start telling them about, cool ways to structure it or investment types or strategies that I think work, I'm not saying it because I saw it on an Instagram reel, right? I'm saying it because I saw a human being do it. I saw my past client execute the strategy and it worked, or I'm seeing in real time clients doing it and it's working. And so there's tons of different ways to do it. And I think it's individual, just like, the individual buyer with a different loan type and a different credit score is going to get that advice. Another reason to connect with a high level mortgage broker and real estate agent is because then, you can talk about, here's my goals. I've got $200,000 a year in annual income. I want to replace that with real estate. I love real estate. And I can say, well, I've got a guy, Jared, who's investing down in Arizona. He found this thing called shared living through the pad split model. He's got a house that's split into 6 different bedrooms. He's renting each bedroom individually. He bought it for this. This is how much he put down. This is his mortgage payment. This house is netting him about $3,500 a month. Then he did it again. This house has 7 bedrooms. It's netting this much. And Jared did it with 6 houses. He replaced a $200,000 income. And, he liked the IT job while he had it, but he's burnt out and he's done. He's excited about real estate now, and he's making $200,000 a year doing real estate. That's not me like using a Instagram reel or something. That's a real life. Jared exists, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's so many different and really it changes by like not only where you live, but what your goals are. I've got tons of investors in California that don't need cash flow. But if they invest right over the next decade, they're going to have 8 figures in net worth because California real estate on average has appreciated 6.9% over the last 40 years. It doesn't have to even do that good. It can do 3 or 4 or 5%. Somebody gets a hold of 4 or 5 properties, 4 or 5 properties in California is, you've
Yeah.
got 7 figures worth of real estate.
Yeah.
And, through appreciation, through debt pay down, through rental increases, that's going to look really good in 20 or 30 years. So that's a different investor than somebody who might be buying single family homes in Memphis, Tennessee. And they're trying to get cash flow. Maybe wife works, husband stay at home with the kids. And he's like, I got some time. I've got this passion for real estate. I'm going to go out there and see what I can do. You know what? If I buy it at this price with this down, I can get $300 or $400 a month in Memphis, Tennessee. Or even better, I can buy it, I can rehab it, I can refinance it. I don't have any money in the deal, and I can rinse and repeat all with the same capital. If we do it right and we do 2 a year, in 10 years or in 5 years, I'm going to have 10 properties, and they're going to average $400 a month each one. So that's going to be an extra $4,000 a month in income. I can still stay home with the kids, got health insurance through the wife. Like everyone's got a different scenario. And that's the beauty of it is like real estate and real estate investing can be done 1,000 different ways. And I've seen it done 1,000 different ways. And so I think that's really the magic in talking to somebody who's done enough and experienced enough is you just tell your story. Here's who I am. Here's what my goals are. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm strong at. And that person could say, you know what? Maybe consider this. Maybe consider that. And the funny part is somebody who's thinking about investing in real estate might just go, well, I saw an advertisement online. Like I'm going to call somebody in a call center. That's not helping you get closer to your goals, right? Like, oh, I found a 5.875 instead of a 5.99. I'm winning. You're saving $30 a month. The right
Right.
advice might make you an extra $5 million, right?
Yeah.
So stop. What's the saying? It's your stepping over dollars to pick up pennies.
Mhm. Yeah, amazing. That's such good advice and important strategies for people of all levels.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is I work with investors who have 8-figure hotels after they've done a lot of stuff with me in residential. They've bought fourplexes and duplexes and they've scaled that to 30 doors. And then they sell in 1031 exchange and they've got hotels and they're doing humongous things. And then I've got people who are just calling me and saying, I've got this home that we've outgrown. I've got a 2.5% interest rate. My payment's 1742. We've got 55,000 for a down payment on the next house. Should I buy the next one and keep this one as an investment? Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. But like that person is talking about, converting and making their first investment. Or maybe they're 19 years old and they're going to buy a duplex, live in one side and rent out the other. I had a 19-year-old do that a few months ago, right? And so it's like the beginners, the pros, and everything in between. I've seen it all, and I'm able to relate with all of it. And so, yeah, it's exciting to be a part of people's journey in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you really understand the investment realm and can support people. Yeah, what is like the number one maybe option that investors kind of have that you often are like guiding them to overcome?
I think recently, one thing I've had to really advise on, because like I'm 45 years old. And so now I'm at a point where, when I first started in mortgage, most of my clients were older than me. Now I find so many coming to me that are younger than me as they just don't know what they don't know. And unfortunately, we live in a fast moving society where a 7-second TikTok or a 15-second Instagram reel can get you like excited and probably provide a lot of false hope. So the number one misconception I'll say is that real estate is get rich quick. Most all strategies in real estate, sure, there's some wholesaling stuff and so there's different things where you can make capital and you might flip a house and make $200,000. But the vast majority of people I know in real estate who've accumulated vast amounts of wealth, they did it slow and steady. And it's not as sexy, I admit, but it's a sure thing. And I would much rather have a sure thing than bet on a meme coin or try to get rich quick some other way and your investment goes to zero. Because in
Yeah.
real estate, like if done the right way, it's really hard to ever have you're never going to buy a house for 400 grand that's worth zero someday, right? Like it doesn't go to zero. But sometimes you've got to buy an asset, you've got to hold it. You might have some issues, you might lose a tenant, you might have an AC go bad. But over time, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you look back and go, holy moly, rent on that house has doubled. The mortgage has been paid down like by $300,000 by the tenant. I haven't paid a dime. Like, the thing is appreciated 3% a year. And gosh, when I look back over 15 years, like that's 500 grand in appreciation. And so it doesn't take rocket science and it doesn't take a lot. Like I've got so many examples of somebody owns 6 homes in California. In 20 years, these homes that they've owned for 10 years will be paid free and clear.
Yeah.
And they'll be worth $9.6 million. You can do a lot of stuff with $9.6 million. You can sell it and you can 1031 exchange it into some, big office space that's got, tenants that are on 10 and 20-year leases. And it's a triple net lease type of deal where you're not even paying the taxes or the insurance. And it's income on autopilot, right? There's tons of different ways to exit that. But what I'm saying is like buying 6 houses over the course of a decade is not like some fancy, fast, get rich quick strategy. It's like you bought a house, you lived in it for 2 years, you moved out, you bought another one. Then you saved a little bit and you bought a duplex. Then this really good opportunity came along to buy a triplex. You sold the original single family you moved into, 1031 exchange, and bought the triplex. And those things were cash flowing great. You were saving money from your job. You found another opportunity where there's a really nice duplex that cash flowed great. You bought that. It's like, these aren't like humongous home runs. This is like slow and steady accumulation of an asset that appreciates over time. The rents on it also go up over time. And then where I come in, I give you 30-year fixed rate debt that doesn't change, right? You've got a payment on this asset that will not change. I think Warren Buffett talks about like the 30-year mortgage being the greatest thing of all time. If I write you a loan at 6.25%, you know exactly what the principal interest will be the first month you pay that mortgage up till the 360th month, till it's paid off. And the best part is if rates go down, you get to come back and say, hey, I'd like to refinance. I heard I can get a 5.25%. I'm never going to call you and say, hey, listen, the banks, they're looking for another 1%. We'd like to refinance you into 7.25. We want more interest. Like you've got that fixed rate payment that is like a hedge against inflation. Because in 10 years, the $2,000 you pay today is worth a lot less. It could only get better for you. It can't get worse. Beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Amazing. Love that. Thank you for sharing. So before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect with you, learn more, where can they find you?
I'd love for them to go follow Matt the Mortgage Guy on YouTube, 1,600 plus videos. And I try to do my best to answer questions and educate the best I can. If you go to mtmg.com, my website, which MTMG is Matt the Mortgage Guy, I bought the domain to make it easy on people. Everything I do is trying to make things easier for people. So instead of having to spell out mattthemortgageguy.com, you just go mtmg.com. Love to connect, whether it's, I get emails sometimes too, and I don't expect you to respond to this, but here's what I'm going through. And, somebody somewhere that I can't help, but they want to compare between two banks. Hopefully I'll forever be able to respond to every single one of those. If not, I'll definitely try my best.
Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and perspective. So thank you so much for being here.
For sure. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And for those of you tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We have more conversations coming with operators just like Matt who are building real businesses. We'll see you all on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.